Yo, people, what is good? Welcome back to my channel. I didn't think I'd be speaking to you guys so soon. Fully was expecting to just do my preview for the Brentford game tomorrow or Saturday and keep it stepping, but it seems as if we've seen another major development in the news revolving around Harry Kane and Bayern Munich. David Ornstein, hot off the press, has confirmed from sources in Germany. Obviously, those sources still need to be verified. We've not really heard from Fabrizio yet. Not heard anything from the club. Not really heard anything from some of the other Spurs journos. Oh, shit. Sorry, that Zoom is too much. But it looks as if Spurs have finally accepted a bid from Bayern Munich for Harry Kane, right? I'm going to share my screen with you guys shortly, but as you come in early doors, please make sure you smash the like button. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, right? And please make sure you turn your post notifications on as well. Yeah. People are saying Fabrizio has confirmed it too. Let me just quickly do a quick search on Twitter. Let me do a quick search on Twitter. Yep, he's basically just regurgitated what David Ornstein has said. But yeah, listen, it looks like Bayern Munich have finally put their money where their mouth is, and they finally made a move for Harry Kane. They've done this annoyingly 2 days, well, Friday, Saturday, two and a half days before Tottenham's first Premier League match. But listen, it is what it is. Technically, there's still at least another 2 weeks left in the transfer window before Tottenham can actually, but 2 weeks left in the transfer window for Tottenham to actually make adjustments in the event that Harry Kane does leave. As I said, people, smash the like button if you haven't smashed the like button already. I want to try and put some polls in. I don't know how people do polls on YouTube. How do you do polls on YouTube? Honestly, like I need to try and see how this works, right? Because I want to set up a poll just as we go through the discussions. I want to see what everyone's thoughts are on some of the things I say, etc., etc. But first and foremost, I actually want to see what the general temperature is. Do people actually think Harry Kane is going, right? Because I actually think he's gone, man. I've felt this. I felt this all summer, right? I felt this all summer, and typically with these type of deals, there's no smoke without fire. Like I would be shocked if Harry Kane turns down Bayern Munich. I would actually be shocked, right? Because I feel like this is the move that his camp had been angling for all summer. This is the move that Bayern had been angling for all summer, right? I don't believe that Bayern Munich would make so many repeated attempts for a player if they didn't have assurances that that player was interested in joining them. I really don't. I really don't. Football never works like that. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Typically, a club will have spoken to a player's camp to test the temperature on whether that player's willing to join the club or not, right? And I think the one thing which has always played over and over and over again in my head is Harry Kane has a year left on his deal. He has a year left on his deal, right? He wanted to leave the club 2 summers ago. Yeah. He's not signed a new deal. He hasn't given any indication that he's willing to sign a new deal. All indications point to the fact that this guy is leaving, right? This guy is leaving. Yeah. Sorry, my friend's just messaging me now. But yeah, I just looked at it and I just said, like, and I had to keep asking my friends over and over and over again, what is the sell for Harry Kane to stay at Tottenham? Genuinely, right? What is the sell for Harry Kane to stay at Tottenham? Like, people, just put it in the comments and let me know. Like, for those who actually believe that there's a chance he could stay at Tottenham, what is the sell? Genuinely, what is the sell, right? Because I can't see it. Best case scenario, even if he was to stay and Spurs get Champions League football next season and Spurs win a trophy, is that going to be enough to tempt him from another offer from Bayern Munich, from an offer from Man United, from an offer from, I don't know, maybe a Chelsea? You probably might not go Chelsea. An offer from a Real Madrid. Like, what we need to understand is Bayern Munich have never spent this money on a player, and they're willing to spend it on Harry Kane. This is Bayern Munich. They don't have Real Madrid's money. They don't have Man United's money, right? They don't have PSG's money. So if Bayern Munich are willing to spend this money on Harry Kane now, knowing that he has a year left, what do people think that the bigger clubs or the clubs just as big in Europe in a year's time are going to do? That's always been my thing here. Like, it was an absolute best case scenario that Harry Kane stays at Tottenham. It was best case scenario. Best. I mean the absolute best. Everything needs to go in your favor. Literally. Every single club that could go for Harry Kane either needs to not have not have a good enough performance to tempt Harry Kane, and then on top of that, not have the funds to try and tempt Harry Kane, and then on top of that, what else? There's just so many factors. There's so many factors that would need to go Tottenham's way for this guy to sign a new deal, which is why I was scratching my head. I was just thinking, hang on a second. What is going to change now versus in 12 months' time? What has Harry Kane, what can Daniel Levy or anyone at Tottenham or Son or whoever, what can anyone at Tottenham say to Harry Kane in 12 months' time, right, to make him sign a new deal? That was always the question ringing through my head. And every single time I asked myself the question, I came out with the answer. Nothing. As I said, if he stays, I will be shocked. I'm not going to be sad. If Harry Kane turns around and says that he's staying. He could well. But for me, that is highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. I'm giving that like a 5% chance at best that happens. Right? So, like I said, if that 5% does come to fruition, right, then yeah, cool. We've got another season of Harry Kane. We may not get the money, but we've got another season of Harry Kane. And just for the football, from a fan perspective, great. I get to see us play better football with our best player, playing alongside the likes of Maddison, etc. But that's a dream. Let's be real. That's not really reality. The reality is we have a top draw player, a world-class player with 12 months left in his deal, and a humongous European club have come in for him, right? Willing to put the money down to make him the most expensive player, highest earner in Germany. I don't think he's going to say no. And I think Spurs need to be sensible here, right? 12 months' time, he goes. This summer, he goes. This summer, he leaves for what? Over 100 million euros. I don't know what the confirmed fee is. I'll get into David Ornstein's report. But let's just say he leaves for over 90 million pounds package versus next summer you leave for nothing. Why would you choose this over this? Genuinely. Like I would, as I said, I would love to see Harry Kane play alongside the better players that we've recruited into the team. But in my head, I don't believe that that's going to be enough to convince him to stay. So why would we jeopardize getting a fee for Harry Kane that could be used to build for life after Harry Kane? The only thing that changes is Spurs are 90 million plus less next summer, And then we'll be asking Daniel Levy and co, oh, we need this, we need that. Ideally, absolutely, Spurs should be signing the players that we signed this summer, irrespective of whatever happens to Harry Kane. That's the reason why I want Enoch out. Enoch either don't spend enough money on the right player or spend too much money on the wrong player. That's their problem, right? When it comes to the succession for Harry Kane, right? In theory, we shouldn't need Harry Kane to fund another centre-back this window. We shouldn't need Harry Kane to fund another midfielder this window. But unfortunately, that is not how our owners operate. And let me tell you this for free. Yeah, losing Harry Kane is bad business for everyone concerned, right? And I'm not saying that as an accountant. I'm saying that as a fan. It's bad business because why? It will give the club a reason to turn around and say, we can't afford to bring player A, player B, player C. We've seen it before. We've seen it all too many times. If there's a hierarchy that are good at hiding behind excuses, it's this hierarchy. So the joy that you would get from Harry Kane staying at the club for one more year would be short-lived, because when he does leave on a free transfer, they'll turn around and say, oh, we've lost Harry Kane and we had no money. We had no money to make up for it. So there's a limited budget that we can spend. All of that rubbish. Been here, done it before, got the t-shirt. Right? Like, you don't know how much I ride for Harry Kane, bro. Like, that's Tottenham's best ever driller, right? Best ever goal scorer, arguably best ever player in my lifetime for Spurs. In fact, I don't think it's arguable. He is. But he has not signed a new deal because he wants to leave. Because he wants to leave. It's sad. I'm sad. I don't want Harry Kane to leave Tottenham. But he has to leave this summer. Instead, if the choice is leave this summer for a sizable fee, a fee that actually befits his status in world football, or leave next summer for zero, why on earth would I pick the option that gives us nothing for our best player to help us improve the team? It doesn't make sense. It don't make sense to me. Sorry. I'm just going to go through some comments and then I'll get into the David Ornstein article. So Between the Post says 86 million, Bayern have scammed you. We don't know the full figure, right? If it's 86 million, I do think Tottenham should have got more, right? But we don't know the full figure. It says over 100 million euros. So it could be much more. It could be much more, right? Abdi Rahman, big up. He says Harry Kane can still refuse to go. I wouldn't be shocked if that coward did that. Can people stop calling this guy a coward, please? Stop calling this guy a coward. Why is he a coward? Why is he a coward? Embarrassing. I hate this stuff. Oh, he's this, he's that. Enough with the name calling. What makes him a coward? What makes Harry Kane a coward? Sick of that rubbish, man. Honestly, I shouldn't even have read that comment. Shit pisses me off. Micah says, in my opinion, this is a fair fee considering his age and years left on his contract. Nah, I think we could have got more money. If it's 86 million pounds, I'm shocked that the club accepted that, because they literally just rejected a bid of around 86 million pounds just a couple of days back, which is why I'm convinced it will be more. Right, the reports leading up to today indicated that Bayern were putting together a deal worth around 95 million pounds, which makes a lot more sense. Once you break into that 90 million threshold, edging closer to 100 million, then fair enough, they're within their rights to accept. And I think that's a fair offer for Harry Kane. Nebula says add-ons make it go above 100 million pounds. We need to see. We need to see, right? We need to see. Simple. Yeah, we need to see. We need to see what's what, right? For those who are tuning in as well, of course, over 500 of you lot in here. Please make sure you smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on as well, because I imagine when Harry Kane leaves, it's going to be a frenzy. I imagine we'll talk about the players that are, the players that are linked and whether they can come in or not as well. So I'm just going to go through some more comments as well. Richarlison up top, up front, the first game. Listen, we bought Richarlison for 60 million. It's about time he earns his keep, man. It's about time he earns his keep. If it's him up top, so be it. Of course, it's a massive drop off from Harry Kane, but it's time for him to deliver. Like I said on my stream yesterday, no more Mr. Nice Guy, right? The guy has the capacity to score goals. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I saw this guy scoring double figures for Everton team who struggled to create chances. Playing out on the left, playing centrally. It's time to score. If you are the focal point for Tottenham, in fact, let me not even use focal point because he's not a Harry Kane. If you are the number 9 for Tottenham, you have to be scoring goals. You have to. No excuses. So if it is Richarlison up top, press, work hard, take your chances. No excuses. Michael says Spurs will definitely get a centre back with another centre back with the money, but we'll have to get another striker, mate. We will have to get another striker. I think that one is clear, and we've already seen a striker in our sights who we're probably going to make a move for. He scored a hat-trick yesterday, but as I said, we'll talk about him after. I'm just going through some comments. Sancho MEFC says, do you think he might say no to them, Tobes? No, I don't. I think he's going to say yes. Big up Stel in the comments. He says, knew of Bayern's interest on the 4th of June. You know me, mate. Yep, fair play. He told me from long time. Let's see. Miles Johnson, surprised Levy actually accepted the offer because it doesn't seem to be way over the 100 million euros. We don't know the true valuation, right? All we know is that it's over 100 million euros. So that could mean anything. It could mean 90, it could mean 95, it could mean 100. We don't know. But the fact that Daniel Levy knocked back a couple of bids, a couple of days back, totaling around 100 million euros, and then now has accepted a bid of over 100 million euros, tells us that they've obviously come closer to meeting the asking price. Sorry, there's bare comments. There's hella comments. Just Daniel Desi, big up, bro. Big up, man. Long time viewer of my channel. Says seems like it's 105 million pounds. Where's everyone getting these reports from? Can you chuck the links in my chat, right? Matisse telling me to shut up. Okay, cool. Fair play, bro. Fair play. It is what it is. I do the same to you. You do the same to me. Average bedroom producer. You won't use the funds. We have to use the funds. We have to use the funds. It's not. We have to use the funds, right? Like my thing is, you sell Harry Kane this summer for a mega fee and you use it to reinvest back into the team. If we sell Harry Kane and I don't see another good enough centre back coming, I don't see a striker that the manager is happy with coming, right, that we can actually get behind, then there has to be riots. There has to be riots. Harry Kane's sale cannot be in vain if he does go to Bayern Munich. It cannot be in vain. We can't just sell Harry Kane and stand still. I want to see us go back in for Tapsoba. I want to see us, if it is Gift Orban that the club have identified as the striker to work alongside Richarlison and Velez, go and get him. No more faffing about. The season starts in 2 days. If we're losing Harry Kane for this amount of cash, I want to see investment back into the team. I want to see that. I want to see that. One sec. Let me see. People are saying, look at Fuad's latest tweet. Invite him. One sec. Let's see. Let's see. Let me even get him now. One sec. But yeah, people, I'm going to share the David Ornstein article, man. Honestly, like the more I think about it, the more there is actually a pit in my stomach. Like I've been preparing myself for this for 2 years, genuinely. I've been saying for 2 years, Harry Kane is going to leave Tottenham. Ever since that Man City fiasco, there was a little period where I thought maybe, you know what, with Conte, but I've always had it in the back of my head that this guy's going to leave Tottenham, right? And I thought I was prepared for it. Like, you get yourself mentally prepared for it, but yeah, it's still sad. Like, there's genuinely a pit in my stomach that we're gonna lose a player of this guy's caliber, man. It's sad. It's sad days. It really is. It really is, man. Honestly. One sec, jump in. If you can, just message in thread. Will after this stream. Yeah, man. But it's sad. It's actually gut wrenching. Literally, it's gut wrenching. To lose a player like that, and especially a guy who's come up through the ranks as well, like, it's painful, man. It's painful. And what I see with this is I just see negligence of the highest order from the club, right? People love to talk about people love to question Harry Kane's character. Oh, he's a coward. Oh, he's a pussy. Oh, he's stupid. Why did he sign such a long deal? Why did he do this, that, and the third? The blame should go towards the club. The club only have themselves to blame for Harry Kane's departure. That's the one thing I've always been consistent in saying. Yeah, of course, from a player perspective, maybe Harry Kane shouldn't have committed himself to the club for such a long stretch. Maybe he shouldn't have, right? But what you have to ask yourself is, what were the club's promises to Harry Kane at the time in which he signed his contract? Bear in mind, this guy signed his contract in the summer of 2018. Yeah. So let me tell you what happened in the summer of 2018. Spurs had just finished their first season in Wembley, right? Because we had to move out of White Hart Lane because it was getting redeveloped for the new stadium. Spurs had finished third in the Premier League, secured another season in the Champions League, made the FA Cup semi-finals again, made the Champions League knockouts for the first time under Pochettino. And unfortunately, we got knocked out by Juventus. We didn't deserve to get knocked out, right? And then in the same summer, Pochettino signed a new deal. Poch signed a new deal as well. So Poch and Kane were sold a dream by the club that they could not deliver. And anyone who tells me otherwise, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. So when people call Harry Kane stupid, when they call him a coward and call him this, no, redirect your energy towards the hierarchy that have let the club disintegrate into a vision that Harry Kane can no longer get behind. That's what you should do, right? That's what you should do. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's all good and well. It's all good and well cussing Harry Kane and questioning his ambition, which I think is nasty. It's nasty. This guy absolutely wants to win. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. He absolutely wants to win. But he wants to win with his boyhood club. He wants to win with Spurs. Is there anything wrong with that? What is the big deal in wanting to do something monumental with Tottenham? Of course, he's had his opportunities at some finals and semi-finals, right? But the fact of the matter is, even though he hasn't achieved it yet, yes, it's a black mark on his career. But the fact of the matter is, players of his caliber are constantly put in those positions. Yeah. Benzema is more often than not challenging for something major every season. Same for Lewandowski. Same for Mo Salah. Right? Same for Kevin De Bruyne. Same for Erling Haaland now. You get the point I'm making. The top players, the very, very top players in world football are regularly competing for honors. Regularly. Right? Regularly competing for honors. Sorry, I've just got an order at my door. Apologies. I'm coming back. Okay, sorry, people. I'm back now. I'm back now. But yeah, no. So to continue on from what I'm saying, the club have let down Harry Kane the same way they let down Pochettino. They have. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone put Harry Kane's departure down to him. Oh, he was so stupid. No, right? Because when he signed that deal, the club were on an upward trajectory, despite the lack of funding towards Pochettino's seasons. Yeah. After Poch's first season, he goes from fifth, right, finishing fifth in the league to third, challenging for a league title in the process, right? And the summer in between that was a good window. We brought in Son, we brought in Alderweireld. I can't remember who else we signed. I can't even remember, but it was a relatively good window for Tottenham, right, in comparison to our previous windows. We got in Trippier on the low, and he was good backup at the time for Kyle Walker, right? And then Poch was able to mold the likes of Dembele, get Walker back on top, mold the likes of Danny Rose, etc., right? The season after that, where you're thinking, give him a couple more pieces to close the gap. They gave Poch, Sissoko on deadline day. Sissoko on deadline day and Nkudu to play left wing. The only good player that we signed that window at that point in time was Victor Wanyama. And what did Poch still do? Even though we didn't make it into the knockout to the Champions League, he got Spurs one place higher. Right? So as you can see, the club are on an upward trajectory. What is Pochettino's next challenge? Oh, now you have to play a season out away from the stadium. You have to play in Wembley, right? But you know what we're going to do, right? Because Kyle Walker wants to leave, we're going to sell Kyle Walker, right? We're going to sell Kyle Walker, yeah? And we're going to bring in Serge Aurier, who looked a good signing at the time. I can't really revise history. But we lost Kyle Walker, right? Danny Rose was getting on with his injuries. He was plundered with injuries. But what did we do at left back? We didn't look to try and replace Danny Rose adequately, right? In the attack, we knew that Victor Janssen. Oh, I forgot about Victor Janssen. Terrible signing the year before. We knew that Victor Janssen wasn't good enough. We knew that we needed another striker to compete with Harry Kane. What did we go and do? We go and sign Llorente. Bearing in mind, this is our first season in Wembley. We go and sign Llorente. Who did we sign in the midfield to help take the burden off Eriksen, which was needed? Nobody. Right? But still, Spurs make another FA Cup semi-final and we finish third. And Poch signs a new deal under promise that, yes, more funds are coming. We're going to do X, we're going to do Y, we're going to do Z. And I feel like that was the same case for Harry Kane. When Harry Kane signed his new deal, we had Son hitting good numbers. We had Dele still playing good football. We had Eriksen in the prime of his career. We had Dembele still sourcing out for Tottenham. We had Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld. We had Sanchez, who had just come off a strong campaign. We had Pochettino, who was still committed to the club. We even had Lucas Moura brought in January, back at the time when he was meant to be a decent player. So the hope was that Spurs would kick on, and they didn't. The following season, the following summer, the summer where Harry Kane, I think, signed a new deal, I think it was the 2018 summer, Spurs don't sign a single player. And then don't sign a single player in January. And then a couple months down the line, they sack Pochettino. And then the whole mess of spending money on players that don't fit the club, sacking managers, bringing in negative managers, etc., the whole thing snowballs. But yet people want to blame Harry Kane. Why? Why are you blaming the one constant in the team? The one guy who's actually been dependable? Why? Why is it him that gets the blame here, not the club? Blame the club for making Tottenham into a club that Harry Kane can no longer see a future with. Blame Tottenham. Don't blame Harry Kane. That's why I get so irate when people talk about all this loser, coward stuff, stupid, all of this shit. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Right? Blaming him for being loyal. Blaming him for the club deteriorating around him. The caliber of players getting worse and worse. Players that were benchman when he was firing Spurs 25, 30 goals 4 or 5 years ago are now starters. Players who have clearly proven time and time again that they're not good enough are still here. But it's Harry Kane that's getting blamed? Nah, man. That don't fly with me. Sorry. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Anyway, let me read this Ornstein report. Let me read this Ornstein report. So let's share the screen. Okay. So it says Bayern Munich's Harry Kane offer accepted by Tottenham. Striker must decide on transfer. So Bayern Munich have reached an agreement with Tottenham Hotspur to sign Harry Kane. Sources in Germany indicate a proposal from the Bundesliga side believed to be worth more than 100 million euros, 86.4 million pounds, was accepted by the Premier League counterparts on Wednesday. People emphasis on the worth more than, not equating to. It says worth more than before people run away and start saying, "Oh, Spurs are accepting right?" Kane must now decide whether or not he will make the move. The 30-year-old wanted the situation resolved before Tottenham's opening fixture of the season at Brentford on Sunday. He is known to be enjoying life under new Spurs coach Ange Postecoglou and has been leaning towards staying, but it is unclear how the striker will react to this development. Kane is into the final 12 months of his contract and Tottenham want to tie him to fresh terms. There has been no progress on that so far, which has led the club to consider selling their talisman in the current transfer window rather than running the risk of losing him as a free agent next summer. The Athletic reported on Tuesday that the clubs remained a distance apart in their evaluation of the England captain after fresh transfer talks on Monday evening. Bayern had seen 3 bids rejected, with the first made in June, but they have since made a breakthrough after increasing the offer. Kane is reluctant to embark upon a transfer once the 23-24 campaign begins and has been encouraged by Postecoglou's early impact. He played a full part in Tottenham's summer tour to Australia and Singapore before scoring 4 goals in a 5-1 home win against Shakhtar Donetsk, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, so as far as personal, let me just skip to the part that's most interesting here. So it says, as far as personal terms go, the Bayern will offer Kane £25 million a year, all in per season, the equivalent of £480,000 a week, which would more than double his current basic salary. So no issues there. The guy is going to be on almost 500 bags a week, playing for the German reigning champions, playing for Bayern Munich. They've won the Champions League 6 times, right? They are regularly competing for honors. Failure is not an option for Bayern. You saw what happened with, You saw what happened with Nagelsmann last season when it looked as if they could slip in the title race, a title that they win every other season. So that article has me even more convinced now that Harry Kane is going to go. And one thing I never understood is why people were questioning whether he would join Bayern Munich or not. Like, I saw the overlap the other day. Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville are saying, "Oh, why would he go to Bayern? They win the league every year." Bruv, was it not the same Gary Neville who did an interview with Harry Kane where he spoke on his desire to win trophies? Why are Bayern Munich all of a sudden a laughing stock? Who are Tottenham in comparison to Bayern Munich? Genuinely. So when people say, "Oh, he wants the record, etc., etc.," yeah, you're right. But I've always felt that Harry Kane can do both. Why can't he go to Bayern Munich, bat it up there for 3-4 years, come back to the Premier League, and then break that record? What is he on? 209 goals? 209 goals. The record is 261. Bruv, only a fool would back Harry Kane not to break that. And with the way he plays, right, he's not someone whose game is relied on, like his game doesn't rely on physicality. So as he gets older, he will still have an eye for goal. So back onto the point at hand, people keep saying, oh, he doesn't have a burning desire to go to Bayern Munich. Maybe not. Maybe not. But there's ample reason why he would go to Bayern Munich. There's ample reason why he would go to Bayern Munich. What's their objective this season? To win a league title, to win the German Cup, to win the Champions League. What's Tottenham's objective this season? To get back into the top four, to go deep in a cup run, or to try and win a trophy, to try and win a domestic trophy. Tottenham's objective is not to win a league title because they don't have the capacity to win a league title. They don't have the capacity to win a league title. So when people are questioning why he would want to go to Bayern Munich, I think it's quite disrespectful to Bayern. All of a sudden, Bayern Munich are this small club. Oh, why would he go to a one-team league? Sorry, have I got the Premier League confused with another league where Man City have won the league 3 years on the trot? Of course, the Premier is much more competitive, absolutely. But people need to stop pretending that there is no desire to leave Tottenham to play for Bayern Munich. Right? Sadio Mane had won everything he could in England and went to Bayern Munich. He went to Bayern Munich. I understand the goal record is there. But my thinking is Harry Kane can do both. Right? I feel like if Bayern sign him, they'll sign him maybe on a 3.5 or 4 year deal. Do you get what I'm saying? And I imagine when he's done at Bayern, there's always going to be a place for him back at Spurs or any other English club that will give him the opportunity to break that record. How long did Wayne Rooney play until? Like 36, 37? Did he not? Anyway, people, smash the like button. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Turn your post notifications on because I imagine, as I said, it's going to be a very, very, very busy couple of days. So we've spoken about Kane and Spurs letting down Harry Kane. We've spoken about why he would want to go to Bayern Munich, right? But now we need to actually speak about what happens after Harry Kane leaves. So it's pretty simple. As I've said, I say it's pretty simple. It's not simple, but what needs to happen, as I've already said on the stream, is Tottenham need to reinvest that money into the team. As I've said, there's absolutely no excuse to sell someone like Harry Kane this summer, receive that money in, and we still don't see another top centre-back come into the club. We still don't see another striker come into the club. That absolutely has to be minimum. It has to be a minimum. This money cannot be received in vain. It can't just go into the owner's pockets. It can't. It needs to be reinvested back into this team. All the talk over the past week was on Gift Orban. And funnily enough, the last time I mentioned him, I said the only Nigerian striker I wanted to see was Osimhen. But that was ignorant of me. I'll be real. It was ignorant of me because I've not done my research on this guy. And I still need to do more research on this guy, but I've seen a couple of clips and I can't lie, the kid looks good. The kid looks good. Ideally, though, for me, with that money available there, I would try and make an audacious bid for Muani. That's what I would try and do. Try and make an audacious bid for Muani, and then you sign Tapsoba on top. That would be as good as window as you can have where Harry Kane leaves. If Spurs were to get in Kolo Muani and Edmund Tapsoba, I don't think you could ask for more in the window where Harry Kane leaves. I mean, you can state more, but I don't think, I feel like you can give the club a little bit of credit there, right? Because then if that's done, you would have signed a good player to compete with Richarlison. You would have signed 2 centre-backs that you believe are going to be the future of your club. You would have signed James Maddison, right? And you would have signed depth out wide in Solomon. And you would have signed a new starting goalkeeper. If Spurs can do these things, then all things considered, that would be a good window. But whether we will is a different matter altogether. It's doubtful. I don't expect that this club will be so ambitious that they'll go back in for. In fact, they'll go in for Colomwani because I don't think we've ever been in. I think we've been linked, but I don't think we've made a bid. I think what's more realistic is they move for Gift Orban, and if Gift is the choice, then so be it. So be it. The clips I've seen of Gift Orban, he actually looks good. I know he scored a hat trick yesterday as well. Like he looks like a really good finisher. I know he's obviously 20 years old. Obviously, it's Belgian league, so we got to apply a tax on that. But the kid looks like he's got talent. I can't lie. He looks like he's got talent. So Spurs just need to be quick. They need to be decisive here, right? Once Harry Kane signals that he is going to accept the offer, then be quick. Sign Orban and decide whether Orban's going to be part of our team this upcoming season or whether he's going to be loaned out. My thinking is he has to be part of the team this upcoming season. You can't, if we lose Harry Kane, we can't just rely on Richarlison and a 19-year-old. Don't care if Orban's 20, bring him in, right? Bring him in. The more the merrier. We're going to need it. Richarlison is injury prone as well. And Gift is already playing in Europe, whereas Velis has never played in Europe. But the centre-back absolutely has to come in with the striker. Has to. Sorry, it has to. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Otherwise, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Right? Like, listen, you guys know me. I've done a mad heel turn on Ange Postecoglou. You can call me a flip-flop if you want. It is what it is. I've definitely flip-flopped. But listen, I really like that manager, man. I really like that manager. And I feel like of all the managers that we've had in recent years, he's probably the one manager where I feel like he gives me vibes that he can find a way to do his job in the absence of Harry Kane. Nuno, I never thought he was the right fit for the job whatsoever. So when that whole Kane situation was happening, I didn't have any belief in him as a coach. Conte was an elite manager, but he became too one-dimensional in his second season, and I never wanted Jose Mourinho. Never wanted Jose Mourinho. With Ange Postecoglou, I actually believe that he just wants to do everything in his power to make Spurs good again, with or without Harry Kane. Right? So, if Harry Kane does leave, which is the likely scenario in my head, then Ange Postecoglou, I feel like he'll find a way to try and make it work with Richarlison, with potentially someone like a Gift, and with a Velis. Right? With or without Harry Kane, Spurs have needed to evolve. I said this on the Big Six last night. Spurs have needed to evolve. In fact, it's not even evolving. It's going back to what served Spurs well under Pochettino. Right? In recent years, and I've said it so many times on my channel, on other people's panel shows, on Touchline, on the Big Six, Spurs have become far too dependent on the likes of Kane and Son. I understand that they are our two best players, so by default, they will have a lion's share responsibility. But the dependency on those two is crazy, especially Kane. Especially Kane. Last season, if Harry Kane wasn't scoring, we were finito. We were finito, bro. Right? If Kane don't score, Spurs finished. And that was never the case under Pochettino. Like, and people will think, oh no, but it was Tobes. Kane was scoring all these goals on the Poch. Yeah, he was. But there was more goals around the team. Because the manager was able to actually propel the other players and put them in positions where they could influence the team better. And the team wasn't just geared towards how to surface Harry Kane. It wasn't. Right? Go and check Son's record when he's been deployed in the middle for Pochettino when Kane was injured. Because let's not forget, Harry Kane went through several spells of injury. Right? Before the last 3 years, Harry Kane went through several spells of injury. Several. And Spurs always found a way to make it work. Always. Always. Right? There were a few moments that was hairy. Yes, of course, where we tried to go with the likes of Janssen and Llorente, but Poch would always find a way to put Son through the middle. Do you get what I'm saying? Spurs were at their best where we had so many men contributing to the attack. We had Ericsson chipping in with double figures in all competitions. We had Dele chipping in with double figures in all competitions. We had Son chipping in with double figures in all competitions. We had Lucas Moura at one season chipping in with double figures in all competitions. Right? We had fullbacks who could stretch the opposition and create chances. We had midfielders like Dembele who could absorb pressure and get Spurs higher up the pitch. We had the likes of Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld who could help Spurs play a much higher line because they were so intelligent, could ping balls left, right, and centre. Right? We had a multifaceted team with a multifunctional attack. That is what we need to get back to. We need to move away from the over-reliance on one player. It's not good. The very best teams in Europe, they don't have that dependency. People will look at Man City now and say, oh no, but Man City, Haaland scored 52 goals for Man City last year. Yes, he did. But they won the league seasons before Haaland, right? Where they spread the load. And no, I'm not pausing. They spread the share of goals across the team. Arsenal last season, they were the second top scorers in the league. They scored 88 goals. The highest top scorers was what? Martinelli? Right? We need to evolve. In fact, we need to get back to what worked well for Spurs, with or without Harry Kane. And it's looking like it's going to be without. So if it's without, then so be it. If it's without Richarlison, you need to step up. You need to score your 15 minimum league goals. Gift, if you come into the team and you're bought, you need to come and chip in with 10. Right? Maddison, you chip in with your 10 league goals. Son, get back to your 15s, your 16s, your 17s. Right? Kulusevski, this season, there needs to be a big push on scoring. You need to score 10 Premier League goals. That should be your objective. Right? That should be the objective. Of course, having Harry Kane's goals on top of this makes our attack formidable, but it's looking like we won't have his goals. So we need to spread the burden. We need to spread the burden. That's it. That's literally it for me. Like, I can't really say much more than that. Let me just go through Twitter to see what Twitter is saying. In fact, let me just go through some chats. 500 week is insane. Fair play, man. I don't think it is insane. Genuinely, I don't think it is insane for Harry Kane's caliber of play. Truthfully, he's been underpaid for years. 500 week is appropriate. I've been saying it and I will keep saying it. Harry Kane, for me, is the best striker on the planet right now. He is. Right now, he is. Benzema's effed off to Saudi and is on his way down. Lewandowski, let's be real, still an elite bagsman, but he's on his way down. Haaland is the one where you're like, okay, Tobes, how can you say that? Haaland scored 52. But I can say that because I just look at both strikers and I believe Harry Kane is a better striker. So Harry Kane is only getting the money that befits his status in world football. Even if you don't think he's the best, he's minimum top 2, top 3. So if you are top 2, top 3 best strikers in world football, you should get a pay that befits your status. You should get a pay that befits your status. Simple as. Right? When I look at players in the Prem, Raheem Sterling is earning more than Kane. Saka is earning more than Kane. Rashford is earning more than Kane. Haaland is earning more than Kane. Martial is earning more than Kane. Bro, look how many players are earning more than Kane. De Bruyne is earning more than Kane. Van Dijk is earning more than Kane. Right? Kane is on 200 bags a week. He is a 500 racks a week player. Minimum 400 bags a week he should be earning. Right? Minimum, the bare minimum for a player of his caliber. It is. When you look around Europe, that's what they're going. That's what they're going for. So yeah, for me, the money befits his status in world football. Big up, hey, 1-1 for the super chat. It's my birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday in advance. I'm sorry that this news has has brought it down on your birthday, but still enjoy your birthday. Enjoy your birthday. What a terrible birthday gift for me, she says. Perhaps it's maybe a blessing in disguise. Here's $5 on me. Have a lunch on me. Thank you for the super chat. I can't consider Harry Kane leaving a blessing. I'll be real. That's not a blessing for me. But it doesn't have to be a curse. It doesn't have to be Spurs stuck in the doldrums, provided we can navigate our way properly with the money and we put our faith behind the manager. Yeah. Spurs would have matched that salary if he signed a new contract. There's no way that's the reason he'd leave. I'm not talking about just wages. Wages aren't the reason Harry Kane's leaving. Spurs were ready to offer Harry Kane 400 bags a week. Wages aren't the reason that Harry Kane's leaving. He wants to compete to win trophies. That's the reason. Spurs at this moment in time cannot do that. Spurs only for a period of, I would say, yes, Spurs intermittently have been able to do that throughout his career. He wants a club that gets him closer to winning a title, where his goals will be more meaningful towards that. Okay, let's see. Sorry, this chat just made me laugh. If we take this money and what? Why the heck would we do that? Horrible. That's definitely not a Spurs fan. He's just trolling. Zohib says Harry Kane is a better striker, but Haaland is more clinical. Even at Dortmund, Haaland had the highest conversion rate in Europe. Only some came close with 25.7% conversion rate. Haaland is a bagsman. He's an alien. I think Haaland is all about goals. Goals. I think Kane is definitely all about goals, but Kane is also goals. Right? MCETV says at least for the new manager, he gets to evolve Tottenham without Kane. At some point, some will go as well, and new players will step in to elevate Tottenham to where they should be. Okay. This bull bitch talking to me about crying more. Okay, cool. All right. Cool, Lee. It's all right. You make your jokes. It's all good. I just want to see your expectations for this season. I'm just trying to see what else is here. Let me just quickly scan through Twitter before I end the stream, because people, it's looking like it's the end of the road for Kane. It's looking like it's the end of the road. Sad times. Let me just quickly search Harry Kane to see what people are saying. So I'll share my screen with you just so you can see what's on my Twitter feed, or X feed, shall I say. Obviously for Fab and David Ornstein. So we've seen those already. I'm just trying to see. Harry Kane training with his teammates this morning. So he was in training this morning, at the very least. So Plettenberger says, yes, there is an agreement in principle between the clubs now confirmed. Transfer fee, more than 100 million euros with add-ons included. Kane is on the verge of joining FC Bayern. It's got to be done, unfortunately. Wow, Ornstein. Alistair Gold. As per David Ornstein, Bayern and Spurs have reached an agreement for Harry Kane. Now it's down to the player. Dan Kilpatrick, who was telling us that Kane is likely to stay just the other day. That's what I mean. Spurs have accepted an offer for Harry Kane, with the striker now deciding his future. Kane was leaning towards staying, albeit before Bayern's restructured bid was accepted. Henry Winter says, Harry Kane has to take this opportunity. Goal scoring records are great, but the game is about glory, and Kane can win trophies at Bayern. He's 30. The time is now. The opportunity is right. Kane has to show ambition and go. Right? It's peak, man. It's peak. But I can't say I didn't see it coming. Honestly. It's whatever. It is what it is. Honestly, I was actually meant to go to the gym. I'm even meant to be at the gym now, but I had to speak on this. It's a shame that Harry Kane's leaving, but such is life. Such is life. We had to sell him this summer for a big fee because he was never going to stay next summer. He was never staying. And I think Spurs fans need to understand that as well. Spurs wouldn't accept this bid. Bayern wouldn't make the moves. Harry Kane wouldn't have kept himself. Harry Kane wouldn't have rejected all offers so far for a new deal if he was going to stay. Like, these things are happening because he's gearing up for an exit. So it's better that we get some money that we can use to invest into this team instead of losing him for free next summer and having no money from his loss. So it says, so Mate Morato, this guy's a bit higgy. He says, Bayern Munich are really one step away from signing Harry Kane. 120 million euros fee, including variables. I need to see the full fee. Anyway, people, I'm gonna call it a day. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be back on my channel tomorrow to preview the game, to talk about other Spurs stuff. But as I said, people, please make sure you smash the like button. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Let me go to the gym. Let me pump some iron, man. And let me just watch the best of Harry Kane's goals for Spurs to prepare for his exit. Make sure you keep your post notifications turned on. Make sure you leave a comment as well. I want to know your thoughts on this move. Is he leaving? Is he staying? I've given you my view. I think he's gone. But if you think he's staying, why? Why do you think he's staying? Put it in the comments. Let me know. But I'll be back on my channel tomorrow, people. So take care, bless up, and enjoy the rest of your day, because I certainly won't. Peace.